Well, there you go. So yeah, just
Okay. Hey, everybody. Glad to see you on this afternoon. Today we are going to, or this afternoon, we are going to talk about winning with the seller. So, hold on, I gotta make sure I've admitted everybody. Hold on one second. I have a question for Lydia. The place where will it pop up? Okay, so sorry about that. I had to make sure that I was prepared to admit anybody else that comes on today. So we are talking about winning with the seller, and this morning was about buyers. Hold on, my packet's wrong. Let me see if I can. Well, okay, there's no screen. Okay, so this is part of the transaction, winning with the seller. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that all my papers are right. While leads are vital to your sales business, seller listings are critical to your ability to build it to its highest level with the lowest cost and highest net. So our ultimate goal is to get the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time for our sellers. Okay. Why is it back on that screen? Okay. In your last section, we talked about moving those A buyers to being your buyers with a signed buyer agreement. Today we do this afternoon, we do the same for the sellers. So we're going to talk about A qualified sellers very first and foremost. An A qualified seller is a buyer or a seller who's ready, willing, and able to do business in the next 14 days. This means they are financially able to complete the transaction now, and they are ready and motivated to make strategic strategic decisions now and are willing to act. If you intend to capture the mind share of A sellers, you need to be following up with them daily to secure an appointment. Our goal for all our seller leads is to get an appointment so we can get the listing agreement and sell the house. However, listings give us a lot of additional benefits as well. So the MREA book that, you know, was written by Gary Keller, we're supposed to focus on leads, listing, and leverage, because that's where our business is. So all of our clients are amazing, and we are grateful for them for choosing us, because obviously there's, I don't know, 270-ish agents, I think, in our market in Owensboro. And so there's, you know, around 269 other agents that somebody can work with besides me. So obviously we're grateful for them. So we need to make sure that we're giving our sellers our best work and efforts. Sellers are special because they bring us listings. We've discussed this before. The basis of a great real estate business are leads, listing, and leverage, obviously. We love listings because they not only bring us a commission and the ability to build a relationship for repeat and referral business, but they bring us a great marketing opportunity in real estate while giving us more control over our time. That's it on that one. So what we mean by that is, you know, when you're working with a buyer, they're constantly, hold on, I can admit somebody. When we're working with a buyer, we're constantly out showing properties and stuff. So with our listings, we have a little bit more time to play with, because other agents are showing the property as well and trying to sell that for us. Look at your participant guide for this list form, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and let's talk about it. Seller listings mean more marketing opportunities. You have more control over your time, as we just discussed. Seller listings maximize your per hour compensation. Volume. With seller listings, you are on the front end of pricing. And if properly marketed, seller listings bring you more business. So I think, which I talked to Matt about this last night when I was preparing for this course, how many buyer leads should a listing bring, if you were to guess? Does anybody know? Zach said 3. Do you have a guess? How many buyers should each listing bring you if marketed properly? Bailey says 5. So the answer right now in today's market, I confirmed this with Matt last night, and he said 1 right now in the market that we're in, maybe 2. It used to be 2. I thought it used to be 3, but so I would say anywhere from 1 to 2. It just depends on the listing too and where it's at. You know what I mean? And so I use that to my advantage too. Like if I get buyers off of a certain listing, then I use that to market on Facebook and social media for more listings. So if I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for $225,000 on the east end of Owensboro, then I know that buyer, that's what they wanted to see, but it went under contract, right? So they missed out on that one. So now I know I can go hunt for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath listing on the east side of Owensboro and try to get another listing. And it may fit that buyer's needs and it may not. And if it doesn't, then it's a trickle effect and we get more buyers off of that new listing, right? So you can use that to your advantage too. Focusing on at least some of your lead generation on listings is a great leverage for your business as well. Okay, let's look at the 7-step seller service cycle in the participant guide. We have talked about models. This model is proven to reap success with sellers. This success comes in any market with any seller. So we'll look at it. So right here you have leads conversion. And then you have the pre-listing, and then the listing consultation, servicing and marketing, offers and negotiation, contract to close, and then you have post-close systems. So far in Ignite, you've prepared yourself to show your leads the value that you bring in their real estate journey. You've lead generated, you've followed up with those leads, and you've qualified them in order to know how follow-up should be structured. Today, we are going to move those A leads to the listing consultation. Sorry, I don't know what to do with this thing. It's in my way. Okay, so it did, so I skipped something. So right here in the leads conversion, it says lead generation and lead follow-up. That's what that means. And then the pre-listing transaction today in particular, and then the listing consultation transaction today. Number 4, it falls under transact on day 16, working with the buyers and sellers. Number 5 is transact day 17 and 18. And number 6 is transact day 19. And then your post-close systems is transact day 19 as well. Any ahas from this session so far? I have a few people online. Okay, and it tells me to read this. We share ahas because they are powerful and meaningful insights that come from reflection on experiences we're having. When we share them out loud, we further strengthen the power of the aha, and we help fellow participants have powerful ahas as well. A good idea is to jot down your ahas in your participation guide. All right. Nobody has anything. I'm going to move on. Okay. Now let's talk about how to convert the A sellers to listing appointments where we can win the seller. Okay, just like with buyers, the keys to converting an A seller lead are respond the right way to lead inquiries. So we shouldn't be just letting those leads sit there for days without answering the phone or getting back with them. Get a valid and complete contact information, save it to command, and create an opportunity. Determine their motivation to sell so you can speak to it. Set an appointment, time, and date for as soon as possible and send the pre-list packet. Getting an appointment is about letting sellers know that you are going to be the agent that fulfills their needs in this transaction. So what do sellers want? So according to this chart, 27% of them, sorry, hold on. I didn't want to start with the 27%. Okay. 27% of the sellers use their realtor previously. So they have a good fiduciary relationship with that agent. Just because they don't say at the beginning that they need your help with the paperwork and negotiations does not mean that they don't need your help. The total value you bring to this transaction is how you will get repeat business. These things are what is important on the first impression. So helping them price the home competitively, help seller market home to potential buyers, help sell the home within a specific time frame, and help seller find ways to fix up the home and sell it for more. Okay, what are some ways you can build confidence and trust with your sellers? Anybody know?
Communicate with them.
Absolutely. Communication is key. I even tell my lenders that when I'm working with them. If you're not going to answer the phone on a weekend, then I'm going to have to find somebody else who will. Right. What is it? No news is still news or something like that. I can't remember how it was said in a class that I took when I was first licensed. But even if you don't have any news for them, you should still reach out to them and just give them an update on what's going on with their listing. What'd you say, Zach? Oh. As you talk to the seller to get the appointment, remember that these conversations lay the foundation for your working relationship. Your first goal in connecting is to build confidence and trust. You do that by showing confidence in yourself and showing attentive professionalism by asking questions. Your focus during this process is not to sell, it's to provide value, meet their real estate needs, and secure the appointment. They need to experience what it's like to work with an agent who asks questions, listens, and cares. So if you're asking questions, that shows that you care. This is to delegate balance, show them what you know, and see why they should be confident in you while not overtaking the conversation by asking too many questions and not showing enough care about the answers. So I've been taught since I've been at Keller Williams to ask great questions. I still struggle with that. I tend to answer people and just move on. But in reality, if we want to know what our sellers want, it is best to ask questions. Okay, great news. The same close to appointment tactics you use with buyers work with sellers as well. See them in the participant guide. Don't leave any conversation without asking for the appointment multiple times. The worst they can do is say no. Remember your value proposition. You're going to work hard for them and do a great job, and they will benefit from having you as their agent. When you get off the phone, you should have a clear day, time, and ideally plan to meet at the home they wish to sell and their full contact information. So the 7 tactics are to show the benefits of working with you, take back close, negative, positive close, give them what they're looking for, trial close, assumptive close, and tie downs. I don't know. I haven't looked through my entire Ignite book yet, but Ignite used to come with some scripts. So that would be a great place to, if you have scripts in there. Do you know if you do? Do you have your packet in front of you? It used to either be in the front or the very back, like the last set, like after the last session. You think they're in the back? They used to, I can't remember if they were in the front or the back before. Yeah. Okay. So Zach and Bailey said that you do have scripts in the back. So I know that Shelly touched on this a little bit in the previous session about finding an accountability partner. If your market center may get together and script practice in the mornings. We used to do that my very first year in real estate. And a lot of people don't like it because you sound like a robot. But what you do is you take those scripts and internalize them and make them your own. So you eventually get used to how you just put it with how you talk. You just need to know the words to say, and you'll retain some of those words. Okay. We have talked a lot about objections through our time in Ignite, and addressing objections is an important part of our job. I would say that that's the truest statement I've ever read. However, sometimes we need to step back and make sure we are hearing an objection before we address it. Responding to every question like an objection can be exhausting, and it may help you be seen as someone who listens carefully to your clients. A seller may be asking a question, yet the agent hears an objection, and I'm really guilty of this example that I'm about to give you. These are two different things we should be responded to differently. When a question is asked, answer it. When objection comes up, just address it. So this is what I've been guilty of. If a client says, "What is your commission?" What do we automatically do? Zach said, "Feel bad about saying how much it is." So my thing is, I don't necessarily feel bad, but I automatically am ready to argue why my commission is what it is. And they simply just asked a question. They need to know how much their commission is, right? So it says just provide your answer. If they ask you to work for less, then you can obviously say, no, I won't. It was just a question. If they persist, ask what's stopping them from hiring you today. They may want to say, another agent will list my house for only Y%. You can respond to that with, what I hear you saying is the commission you pay is important to you. I'm happy you brought that up. I'd love to cover that when we meet. So I'm big on that. I don't like to talk about commission over the phone. If I have a client that wants to see a for sale by owner, I do not talk about commission on the phone. They ask me, they say, I'm not working with an agent. I'm not paying an agent. And I'll say, sir or ma'am, I'm not asking you to work with me, and I'm not asking you to pay for my commission. I'm simply wanting the best for my buyer. They're interested in your home. Let's get them through your home first to see if they're even interested in it. Because what's the point in exhausting yourself over the commission? And it's not an issue anyways, because your buyer didn't like it. I know we're not talking about buyers, but I'm just using that as an example. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't talk about commission on the phone. Getting in front of them is way better. Also, the pre-list packet is going to do a lot of objection handling for you. So if you don't have a pre-list packet, Designs in Command has some great designs for that. And you don't have to type it all out. It's all laid out there. You can just personalize it. Who has an aha from this section that they would like to share?
There's a thing when they ask office for raise and defend it.
Zach said the commission thing, he's always so ready to defend it, but he should just what?
Just be more confident about it.
Just be more confident about it. Just answer the question and move on.
When you say like when it's 6%, they see the hesitation and like, I can get it. And then
he said, because if you say, well, it's 6%, then you hear hesitation in my voice and they automatically know they got one up on you. So that's a good one.
Yeah. Piggybacking on that, it's one of those conversations, a little awkward because you never ask another person like in a normal job, like, well, how much do you make? Right. So it's one of those things where we earn a good wage because we earn it literally. So we should take pride in that. And it should be something you're proud of, not something you really back off from.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I always feel bad about it too. I hate talking about commission. It's probably my least favorite part of the job, but
it's my favorite part of the job is getting it.
Zach said my favorite part of the job is getting it, not talking about it. You agree with that too, Bailey?
Yeah.
It's coming. Okay, now that you've gotten the appointment, the next step is to follow up with a great pre-list packet. Anybody seen this before? As we move through the day, keep in mind that we're moving from E to P. What do we mean by moving from E to P to break through ceilings of achievement? Does anyone know? Does anybody know what E or P means?
Entrepreneurial to
Yeah.
purposeful.
Yeah. Move from being entrepreneurial, which is what entrepreneurial, that is the hardest word for me to say. Entrepreneur, whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about, is doing what comes naturally, to purposefully, which is working with proven systems and models to achieve more. Much of what we have talked about in Ignite is learning those models and systems to create a business that is as large and profitable as you desire. If you truly engage in these models and systems and work them so they will work for you, you will likely find that you don't hit that ceiling anytime soon because you are using the models that work at a high level. Everything from the pre-list pack to the consultation checklist and the listing presentation has been created for you based on the success of innumerable agents. All of them are available in Command Designs. So we're back to Keller Williams preaches, don't reinvent the wheel, right? Learn from others' success. And I've also heard to write it down so that way if you find something new that works, it's written down for the next person. Okay. Pre-list packet goals. A great pre-listing packet does three main things. It pre-sells. The pre-listing materials are designed to build the seller's confidence in you and to answer their questions and objections before you give your presentation. Sellers use an agent because they need advice and expertise. Making them feel like they better understand the process is important to your value proposition. Number two, it saves time. A strong pre-listing packet will make the consultation experience smoother and likely shorter by tackling common obstacles. Number three, it states your value. The pre-list packet tells the seller what you bring to their transaction. Remember, sellers have specific goals they intend to achieve, and this is a crucial step in discovering their goals and telling them how you will help them achieve them. This set of materials communicates your professionalism and value. Each piece of information included should fulfill one of the following criteria. Will you review it in the listing presentation? Number two, does it eliminate the need for a listing consultation? Number three, is it a primer for education you will provide at the listing consultation? Oh, I'm the worst at admitting people. If y'all see that pop up on there, tell me. Okay, we will talk more about the pre-list packet as we talk about the listing presentation. You should think about the pre-list packet according to the three criteria we just discussed. The pre-list packet helps the sellers to get ready to understand and accept your plan for their home by providing them with general information on selling a home. You should keep the pre-list packet to less than 10 pages if possible. Some key items for your pre-listing packet might be a cover page, contact information, promise to the seller, selling process overview, general pricing information, your value proposition, broker, office, and personal metrics, client testimonials, previous listings, and our other services such as Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, Keller Offers. Like with all the other documents, you will need to make sure that these are error-free, well-organized, well-written, and presented on good quality paper in a clean and nice folder. So I did bring a sample of what we use. I don't know if y'all can see it, but we had these stickers printed from gotprint.com, I think, and we put them on our folders, and it just personalizes it and makes it look a little nicer. I think the folders are like 37 cents or something from Office Depot. So there's not a lot of money into that. And it just personalizes it, makes us look a little more professional. One thing though that I do, that it doesn't tell me to tell you this in here, but one thing that I do in my pre-list packet is put questions for the client to interview other agents, because I always recommend that they interview at least 3 agents. Number one, because a lot of people know a realtor and they're like, I'm just going to use XYZ because I know them, right? And I want a chance to prove myself so I can try to win that listing, even if it's my friend that I'm up against. I mean, I want to get as much business as I can. And so I tell them, interview 3 agents at least, and here's a set of questions that you can ask. And I make sure I can answer them, obviously, but I've had a lot of success with that. It instills a little bit more trust with the seller. They're like, well, they care enough about me to have giving me this list of questions to ask not only them, but other realtors. Like, they really care about my home. And so I like a good little competition anyway. So it's kind of fun. Okay. The seller consultation for preparation checklist. Hold on. Okay, there it is. Just as you did for your buyer's consultation, you need to do some follow-up with the sellers once you do the listing appointment. Look at the seller consultation preparation checklist in your participant guide. Okay, so deliver your pre-list packet. Be sure to deliver this packet on time as you promised. Confirm appointment date, time, and location. Follow up to confirm the appointment and ask any questions that you may have missed on the initial call. Ideally, you should be meeting at the house to be listed. Be safe. Be sure someone knows where you will be and with whom. If on a team, consider attending with another teammate. If you have any bad feelings while in a house, leave immediately. Also, be sure you are checking the assessor's website or with a title company to confirm who owns the home before your listing appointment. Before Zach was licensed, if I had an uneasy feeling or if I was going to meet somebody I didn't know, I would have him ride with me. And I always, and I still do, share my location with him, so he knows where I'm at all times. Or he can, if he can't get a hold of me, he can look up my location because I share it with him indefinitely. So I advise everybody to have that one person at least that you can do that with. Ensure that all decision makers will be attending. Make sure all decision makers will be present at the appointment. If your seller answered with more than their name to the lead sheet question, who all is involved in the decision? Request that all parties be present at the appointment. That's really important because you don't want to waste your time or theirs. So I've had that happen before where I met a client and all the decision makers weren't there, and then everything completely changed after I'd already met with them and we had a plan to execute. Complete and practice your listing appointment presentation. Again, this goes back to like script practice. You can do the same thing with your listing presentation as you do in script practice. Have all your listing materials prepared and printed for the appointment. Include your listing agreement in that. Review the lead sheet. Go over the lead sheet right before the consultation so the seller's profile and goal are clear in mind. Arrive to the listing presentation in a professional manner. Be there on time, be there on time, be there on time. And dress appropriately and consider the quality of your materials and cleanliness of your vehicle as an extension of your reputation and image. I have a monthly car wash membership because I think that we're held to a different standard. I tell people, if you don't look presentable and you're not taking care of your things, then why would a seller or buyer trust you with their biggest investment? So image is big in our industry, I feel like. Does anyone have any ahas from this session? None? You should clean your car.
That was hard for me going from construction to this.
Yeah.
My vehicle was so efficient.
Oh my gosh, when Zach first started his truck, it looked like he kept, I guess he was used to keeping trash in it from like construction sites. And it's like his bed was heaping half the time with stuff. And I'm like, clean your truck out. Like, image is everything. And when I first started my car, it sounded awful. Like, I would park, because I was broke, I would park so far away from the house that I had to go to. so that way the seller or buyer didn't judge me on my car. I would open it up and the metal rubbed. So every time I opened it, it would pop real loud. People would stare at me in parking lots. It was a mess. But you have to do what you have to do. All right, now that we've talked about the pre-listing packet and what it does for you, let's prep for the listing consultation. The purpose of the listing presentation is to get the seller to list with you. You achieve that by doing 3 things. Create a great impression to build the seller's confidence in you as a real estate agent of choice. Share your price recommendation, the initial list price for their property. And this, and your reasoning behind it. Explain how you believe that the price is designed to get their home sold in the shortest amount of time and for the most money possible. This is important though. The seller actually is the one to determine the actual list price upon understanding your recommendation. And I always, when I recommend a price, sometimes I ask them when I'm pricing a home what they really want to net. So that way I know what ballpark they're in and how I need to approach it. Especially things right now, sellers are thinking that they can get X amount of dollars and it's way up here because of the market that we've been in. But in my opinion, prices are starting to kind of level off and our sellers just don't realize that yet. So I don't ever want to offend them. So I like to know what they're thinking first and then handle it from there. But I always make sure that I'm clear that, look, this is your property. And at the end of the day, we will list it what you want to, but this is my recommendation. And I also, a lot of times I'll ask if I have permission to be honest with them. So set expectations for how you will market the home and work with the sellers. Just like the buyer's packet, you don't have to figure this out for yourself. There are beautifully designed templates you can use in Designs and Command. Now we're going to take some time to think about how you can use the pre-list presentation to show the seller why you're the agent that can help them achieve their goals. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The listing presentation to show the seller why you're their agent and how you can help them achieve their goals. Okay. Review the fall, no, hold on. Go to answers. You can go to answers.kw.com and search for Ignite Reference Guide or go directly to answers.kw.com/create a listing. This is to help you create your presentations. All right, flip back to your chart on what sellers want. With that handy, we don't have groups of 3 or 4. We only have 2 people in here. So we're not going to do this activity, but you can go back and do it if you want to. If you have a team or whatever. Looks like most of you guys are by yourself too, so we won't take any time to do that. And we're going to skip over that. Sorry, y'all. Why is this page right here? Why is this page right here, your needs converse, included in our listing presentation? And why is it important? This might be in y'all's way. Sorry. At the end of the day, the real estate business is a relationship business. This is part of your listing presentation about a relationship. It's important. It's important. Doing this piece right will go a very long way into earning their current and future business. When you present your listing presentation, get ready to take notes and to listen. So this just makes you, like, it says, what's the one thing that has to happen to make your dream scenario a reality? How can I make that happen for you? What is important to you? Why is that important to you? So those are all important questions that we need to ask our clients. So that way, oh crap, I don't know how to go back. So that way, sorry, I don't know how to go back on that. We'll move on to the next one here in just a minute. But you want your sellers to feel important, like you want them to feel like you care about them. So that's why that page is so important. Okay, that's enough on that one. Does this look familiar? Affirmation. We used a nearly identical affirmation going into your buyer consultations. Confidence is no less important here. We have discussed limiting beliefs many times before. There is no place for them. Mindset is everything. In solution, you are one with abundance. You know what you are talking about. You are prepared, and you are the agent that is going to best serve these clients. There is no room for negativity or small thinking. Okay, we're going to read this all together on the count of 3. Zach, you're going to read it too. 1, 2, 3. I am knowledgeable and caring and the best agent for these clients. They will appreciate my expertise and preparation and choose me to represent them as they sell their home. One more time. I am knowledgeable and caring and the best agent for these clients. They will appreciate my expertise and preparation and choose me to represent them as they sell their home. Okay. The listing presentation is where you show off your hard work. Dang, I can't get this to move. There it goes. There's not really a good spot for that, but so the listing presentation is where you show off your hard work and research and get the listing. In addition to going through the listing presentation, you'll preview the home and ask for the listing agreement. Don't forget to update your opportunity and command at each stage. Cultivate the lead, appointment, and active. The listing walkthrough. When you arrive at the potential seller's home, it is important to establish yourself as knowledgeable and professional right away. Greet your potential clients, thank them for the opportunity, and ask them if you can leave your things in the kitchen while you conduct a home walkthrough. It is also always a good idea to compliment something about the home. This is your potential client's home after all. They are proud of it. A compliment isn't just kind, it shows that you see value in their home. Why do you think we suggest to leave your things in the kitchen? You never do that? Do you take stuff to your listing appointment?
My bag, my stuff in it.
So what do you do with your bag while you walk through the home?
So
You set it at the kitchen table, but you don't ask?
I thought you meant tell them to get their stuff up.
No.
I forget what.
Okay, the reason that we ask if we can leave our stuff at the kitchen is because the table provides a great space to talk, and it's more familiar and intimate than the living room or a sitting room. And you're asking to be let into the heart of their home. I always ask, and I think it's just, I read through this a couple times last night, and when I come across this, I thought it was funny because I'd never been taught that. I just automatically do it. Your home walkthrough is going to further inform you what you'll write for the listing information. It'll help you form your marketing plan and your pricing strategy conversation. If at all possible, ask to walk through the home alone. It's best to come up with conclusions without the seller's narration of their home. They tend to get pretty emotional when you walk through it. So you don't need anything to hinder your pricing strategy. Okay, whether you get the listing or not, Always send the seller a handwritten thank you note immediately after the appointment. It may seem like a small thing to do. However, as we have discussed, handwritten notes stand out in our digital world. Also, showing gratitude does at least as much good for you as the person you are showing it to. Win or lose the listing you've gained from the experience. So, fail forward, no means next, all that good stuff. Does anyone have any ahas from the session? Huh? Zach said he should start asking before he puts all of his stuff in their kitchen. I bet you do ask and you don't realize you do. Okay, our goal is to get a signed listing agreement by the end of your appointment. Now that we've talked through everything up to this point, let's dig into the listing agreement we use for our market center. I think that we all have those listing agreements, right? That wasn't in my preparation, I don't think. Okay. As we wrap up from our learning session and transition to our daily success system, let's do a quick review and capture ahas. First up, we revised what it meant to have 8 qualified sellers and focus on what listings to do for our career. We covered how to get the appointment. We focused on the listing agreement itself, or the listing appointment itself, and we went over our listing agreement and the other relevant documents for our market center, which we didn't do, but we only have 2 people here. Y'all are by yourself. So anyways, what's your call to action today? Zach said make a better listing presentation. Do you have a listing presentation, Bailey? Just the buyer one? So in here it says, prepare and practice your pre-listing packet and listing presentation. How's your mindset now? Better? Worse? Better? That help you remove some limiting beliefs, like knowing that, like, I guess, like what I said about the asking them questions, you know, if you practice those and stuff like that, that'll help you too. It'll just help you gain confidence, you know. Do you have any questions or concerns? Anybody? Okay. Each day in Ignite, you grow in and think how you feel, you grow in how you think, feel, act, and implement what you've learned. From learning and ahas, you move toward achievement of your big life. And that's why we're here. And that's what we're here for, right? To achieve our big goals. It says to write in your participant guide how you've grown in each of these areas. It says allow for 4 minutes and any volunteers to share responses with the group. Taking time to reflect on what you've learned is important in building your confidence and celebrating your growth. We'll do this activity after each learning session so you can help keep track of your learning journey. And now we move to our important daily success system time, where we work in our business together while supporting one another, which we're not going to make those calls right now. Okay, our daily success system is 20 minutes of role play conversations with the partner. Top agents practice every day. 10 minutes preparing a call list for the day. This is another system that top agents use to save them time. Once they have a list, they start at the top and they call people without hesitation. 45 minutes of role play in the real world is making contact and having conversations with as many people as possible with the goal of establishing and nurturing valued relationships so that when people are ready to buy or sell, they think of you first. 30 minutes updating your database with information gathered from your conversations and following up on any promises made. Do this immediately after role play while it's still fresh in your mind. These activities are the daily habits of success. We practice them every day at Ignite, and you will continue with this rhythm the rest of your career. Use the pages in your participant guide and work together on these activities to support one another. Let's move into our daily success system. Timekeeping in mind that the purpose is to develop mindset skills and tools you need to build relationships and secure an appointment with a potential buyer or seller. What do you notice that is different from any other previous version of this daily success system? Does anybody notice anything different? Bailey, do you?
It added closings to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they added closings to it. At this point, you may be going on appointments, getting agreements signed, and even getting deals closed. If you have achieved any of this, you'll want to track your progress on them. So your daily success system tracker includes 10 conversations with your sphere, which is people you know, 10 contacts added to your database, name, a phone number, address, and more. 10 handwritten notes, express gratitude or let people know you're in real estate and appreciate referrals. I need to ramp up my handwritten notes. I never write handwritten notes. And I really feel good when I get even an invitation to a baby shower in the mail. Like I love getting mail from people that aren't bills. Does anybody else feel like that? Do you feel like that? So I really need to do that because I think it would help business a lot. Utilize the 10-5-1 model for social media engagement. Other enrichment offered at the end of each session, each lesson in participant guide of your own choice. You will be accomplishing most of these goals during your daily success system. Keep doing these activities outside of class time as well. Work with your accountability partner and have fun. During the final update time, you may write notes and engage with social media. Okay. Is it the same one? Whoops. I don't know how to go back. I have no idea. I'm scared to push anything. As far as you've learned, the first job of real estate agent is lead generation because the activity of generating leads is the foundation of your business. In addition, practicing conversation and dialogue will prepare you for success. That is appointment, signed agreement, signed contracts, and sales closed. Of course, before we get involved in conversations with our sphere and lead generating, we must remember to comply with the TCPA and do not call regulations. We review this every Ignite session because it's critical that you protect yourself and the market center from any legal action. Make this your permanent habit, following all guidelines for calling and texting people. Legal notice must say the following verbatim. Today, you're going to make calls and I shouldn't have read that, should I? Today, you're going to make calls to your sphere and people in your database. Before you make any calls or texts, please remember to honor the TCPA and do not call lists, including those of your market center and state. If you have any questions or concerns about this, please consult your market center or attorney to ensure compliance. Refer to the pages at the beginning of your participant guide for more details. These guidelines are for your protection as well as the protection of your clients. Let's review the importance of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and do not call restrictions for when you make calls or text to your database. Turn to the pages in your participant guide and let's go over this. Read the entire TCPA guidelines. It is important. Texting also falls under TCPA guidelines. No dollars and automated voicemails. Follow the guidelines to protect themselves or to protect yourselves. Check with the market center, broker, and attorney to ensure your compliance. It is your responsibility to subscribe to the registry, check before you call, update your call list regularly, honor consumers' requests, and know the state and federal laws. It's essential that agents learn this now rather than when they encounter trouble with non-compliance, because it does get expensive. Okay. Let's begin by getting our mindset primed for success. We do this in affirmation. Turn to someone close to you and say this affirming message out loud to the other person. Okay, so on 3, we're going to read it. 1, 2, 3. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. One more time. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. Wants us to do 20 minutes of role play, but there's our participation. We don't have enough for that. Prepare your conversation list when you determine who you will connect with today. You will do that before you begin. You will either write names on a conversation sheet or generate a list from your database of contacts. Take action when you connect with people throughout the conversation. This is your most valuable activity, building relationships with people in your database, and it takes up most of your lead generation time. So maintain it. When you update contacts in your database, you will enter additional information you've learned from your conversations and follow up on any commitments you've made. Let's begin by first preparing your conversation sheet in your participant guide. Call contacts from your database, which is people you know, and referral names you have been given by your contacts. Only call people that you have permission to have a conversation with, and keep in mind the TCPA regulations. Role play activities in the classroom, which we're not going to do it in the classroom, but as soon as this class is over, I would advise you to go ahead and do some lead generation for 45 minutes. The role play activities in this classroom are money-making activities done with the support and guidance of you and other participants. Every day and at night, we will spend time in lead generation activity. Make sure that you, if you get in a slump, refer back to the affirming message. Use conversations that you've practiced throughout Ignite to make your calls. And I think that, oh, no, that's not it. Okay, I was supposed to say this on the last one, but I don't know how to get back to that. Now it's time to get into your database, preferably command, and enter contact information and any updates you learned from your conversations. This is to maintain a portion of your daily lead generation routine. This is also a time when you'll follow up with your handwritten notes to the people you called. Remember to express care and gratitude. Somebody.
Quickly before to it looks like it may be you and I today.
Okay. Somebody was unmuted and that distracted me, sorry. Demonstrate how, make sure you know how to add the contacts in command. I have found it really helpful to add those notes and update them every time. Celebrate your successes. It says, hold on, I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, and your next session will be work with buyers and sellers. So I hope that you got some valuable, this is my first real class I've taught, so hopefully I did okay and you got some valuable information. Anybody have any questions or final ahas from the class?
Commission part.
The commission part was still your favorite. Anybody else online? Bailey, you got anything? I do. That bacon out there smells so good. I am starving. I haven't eaten today. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming on, and I hope that you go and crush it in real estate today. How do I get off of here? Stop share. End meeting. End meeting.